Alreet! So this is a betting gods video I'm bringing you. I did dabble with betting gods last year, and I've picked it up more this year because of reasons I explained in my last video. I'm cutting down on the gambling side of things because I'm doing other things. But betting gods, I looked at the tipsters between Christmas and New Year last year, and the plan was to pick out a few to diversify, but I ended up just getting two. Since then, I've added an additional one. If you stay tuned at the end of the video, I'll tell you which three I'm using, and one specifically that I recommend everybody to get on if you do want to follow a tipster online. So I'm going to miss out the free tips and premium tips. I'll maybe do a video on those later down the line. But if we're going to tipsters here, I'll put a link in the description. If you did want to sign up to any of these using my link, it would be much appreciated because it continues to help the channel grow and enables me to bring out further videos. However, moving on, basically this screen shows all the current tipsters on Betting Gods. Betting Gods is a service that it's supposedly bets and analyzes tipsters' past results, and the theory is it only has the cream of the cream, either professional or sort of hobbyist tipsters. You can see here there's a list of about 13 or so. What I did initially is I went through each one, had a look at all our stats. So you can see on the front screen here, I'll just go with this first one. BSP profits, you can see the total profit they've made since 2023, January, when they started on the platform. The average monthly profit during that period, the win rate, the return on investment, and the amount of money up this month, and that's based on £10 stakes. This used to be, up here used to be static at £25 last year, and they've introduced this filter now where you can set the currency in the stake. I'll drop the currency for anybody's interested. There's only dollars and euros and pounds. I'll just leave that defaulted at pounds. But this was defaulted at £25. I always questioned that because what was the point in that? However, they've changed it now. There's no point in £2 either because these tipsters are ranged from £27 to £37 a month. So based on £2, you wouldn't. There you can see there, you wouldn't make enough money to actually cover the subscription in most cases. So I've been using I'll do £5 there. It's still, I mean, that one's quite good, but obviously that's just 1 month. You need to probably look at the average monthly profit's only 17, so that wouldn't be enough to cover the subs. That would probably just with a very little profit. So I was using £10, but I'll come on to the bank that you need for £10 stakes shortly. So I looked at all the tipsters and I picked two out between Christmas and New Year last year, and I started running with them in January. So this is the main stats. If you go into view each one's profile, you can see a hell of a lot more. So you can see here, that's the performance stats which I've just seen on the previous screen. There's nothing new there. Key details then, it tells you when the tips arrive. It gives you the advised bank, so 100 points for this tipster. So based on my £10 stake, I need a 100-point bank, which is £1,000. So you multiply your stake by your 100 points of bank. So 1 point for me is £10, so I need £1,000 if I wanted to use this tipster. They share about 22 on average, 22 tips per month, which is just less than one a day. And the profitable months they've had is 62.5%. The average odds is 7.9, which is quite high, so it's high odds. So you'd expect to have a lower strike rate, which is your win rate there, 31%, which is quite good. The average odds is 7.9 because they're winning about 1 in 3 nearly. You've got then the performance breakdown, which is showing your lifetime performance here. Average monthly profit I took a note of. Return on investment I definitely took a note of because that's 38%. And annual profit. Recent performance I wasn't too fussed about because I'm probably not looking at short term here. I'm looking at long term, although you do have to be wary if it's 6-month negative profit. This has gone down a little since I started using them. Because this is one of the three I did start using, BSP profits, and I'll come on to why. And this is probably the one I would recommend going with if you wanted to The only caveat is like the last couple of months' performance. Well, certainly the last month's performance, but the one before that wasn't too handy either. Your win rate, total number of winners, I wasn't really bothered about. Profitable months, I'm bothered about. That's 10 out of 16. Could do with being a little bit higher. Win rate this month's quite high. It's 50%, so it's obviously having a good month. Recent winners, I didn't take any attention to whatsoever. I wasn't really interested. I'm not really bothered. Again, leave in the comments if you think I should be analysing these differently, or if you would be doing them differently, or indeed if you've gone through this process and picked out a couple of tipsters that you're using on betting gods. It would be interesting to see why and what you've done to pick them. But here's the big one that I was looking at really. This is the past performance by month. Obviously green's profitable month and red's a unprofitable month, a losing month. Now you can see I did do this, obviously in my defence, I did do this between December and January, so I was only looking back from December 23 at the time. It looked pretty good. Obviously I had these 3 bad months, but they were all low loss profits. So you had -3, -1, -1.94, and in the meantime you had like +6, +18, +40, or nearly 41, +7. And then it was negative in sort of nearing the end of December when I did jump on it. But I'm happy to go with a negative month. What I've always said with these, when I did jump on them, if they had 3 negative months in a row, I'd start looking at them. So it started out really well. I had +17 in January, +7 in February, but then lost the February's in March because it was -8, and then another -8 in April. Luckily, it's up 11 this month so far. So I just need to see how it goes. But I still will be continuing with this one long term because I think these two are just a blip. March and April. You can see from the graph as well how it's gone up from scratch from January 23. It's gone up and up and up, apart from sort of this area here from December. You can see it dropped in December and then it rose again, dropped, and then it's rising again. So hopefully sort of from October 23 you can see to here, to April, it didn't go up a great deal. It went up from like £2,851 total profit to 3,070 profit, which isn't massive over a period of about 6 months. But it's climbing again, so hopefully it'll keep climbing in that direction there, like it has done in the past. These are the prices. So I'm paying £27 a month, but I'm seriously thinking about just paying £79 for the next 6 months, because it's such a big saving. You save £83, and also it equals it out. Instead of 27 a month, you're only paying an equivalent of £13.16 a month if you pay £79. The only problem with paying in advance, and why I haven't done it yet, is you're tied in. You're obviously tied in, and if it does go Pete Tong and the tipster has 6 consecutive losing months in a row, you're losing out. I mean, you'd probably stop placing the bets, but you've already you've already handed over your £79. But I am planning on doing it with this one because I think it has been performing pretty well. One other thing to mention on here is that you get your tips like on here, and like tips arrive at 8 o'clock in the morning via email, or there is an app where you can go on and get the tips. I just wait for the email, and it's normally plus or minus an hour based on the 8 o'clock, so you can get them like between 7 and 9 really. Okay, the biggest draw to BSP profits then, and it's in the name BSP, which is Betfair starting price here, which I highlight on the screen. The horse racing tips provided by BSP profits all back to Betfair SP. So you're not chasing odds, and there's no, these results are totally realistic, that anybody can achieve these results on here. One of the big negatives you see about betting gods and why some people don't use it is because when you're getting tipsters tipping horses at like say 33 to 1, they put the tip out. When you go onto the bookies, you can quite often not get 33 to 1, like the highest price. By the time you jump on it and try and get that bet placed is like 25 to 1, because the price moves so quick when you get like a few hundred people placing the bet at the same time, because the amount of money placed on that one individual selection makes the market move. So you don't always get a 33 to 1, you get 25 to 1. Now, if that horse wins at 25 to 1, you only get £250 if you've put a £10 stake on. Whereas if the tipster says it was 33 to 1, they're putting their results down at £330 profit, so you're already 80 quid out there. And the facts and figures and results on Betting Gods will show the 33 to 1 winner. So I hope that explains that. But the issue that I like, because I've been gubbed on so many accounts, the reason I like this this tipster, is because you just place your bets on the Betfair exchange. So I just keep the money in there for this account. So I've got the bank for this tipster. Okay, so if I go back to the tipster screen, that's what I've done initially. And I ended up with 2 in January. And I'll go on. The second one was, I wanted a football one, and the only 2 were this Europe football punter here, and this corner betting king here. I went with corner betting king because the stats were better at the time. They still are, apart from this month. It's having an absolutely horrific month, and I've probably lost about that much as well. So again, at the minute, I wouldn't recommend jumping on the corner betting king. I'll show you his profile as to why I did, and I'll show you what's happened since. So come down here, I'll just quickly go through it. But you can see here, it's raining outside and I'm in the camper van, so hopefully it's not affecting the sound too much. So again, I looked at this at the end of December, so this period here where I'm circling, and obviously it was all green apart from February 23, and then obviously December was down slightly as well, and then ended at 8.4 down. And based on the previous results, I thought, well, it's still pretty good. And even when I did jump on, January 15, February 6, March 12, and then April, I was fine with April because it was only 0.6 down, which is like out of my £10 stake, it's only six quid. But this month, I don't know what's happening, but he's just like nothing. Like, he went from about 60% strike rate, so 6 out of 10 bets will win. He's down to he's down to about 50 or just under 50 now. This month he's just having a horrific run. So I'm going to give it next month. Well, I'm going to give it the end of this month to see if he pulls that round, and next month to see if he gets another red next month. I'm going to look at ditching him. But you can see the graph here. It's gone up and up and up and up and up, and it's only dropped really bad this last month. I don't know if he's just having a run of bad luck, or whether it's the end of the season. Fixtures can sometimes, and like the unpredictable. You hear a lot of people betting on football. You shouldn't bet the first 8 to 10 games of the season or the last 8 to 10 games of the season. And a lot of his bets have been on like the English leagues or the leagues that are finishing for like summer breaks and things like that. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but at the same time, if that was the theory, his April and May last year should have been really bad. And April was plus 13 and May was plus 11. You can see here that I'm circling. So I don't know, that doesn't ring true, but that one I wouldn't recommend yet, but it's the one I did get on because obviously if you put my shoes on from back last year, I was looking at it about this period here, like I said. So again, we'll let that one run another month, and again you can see he's 27 quid, same price. And that was it. I just wanted a football one as well, so you can see the bets he puts on. He only puts on like half-time corners over and under, and it's mainly under. And I thought I'd give him a run. No, I like the win rate this month, 33.33%. That's awful. I mean, that was over 60 when I started on him, and now that's down to 56. That is terrible. 1 and 3. And one of the good things about this as well, which I didn't look at and didn't show you on BSP, but if you view the results sheet, you can see all the bets. If I just press, this goes into bets from when they first started on the platform. So you've got like July 22 there. I'll just press Control and down arrow, it'll go right to the bottom. So you can see, so you can see here, this was the last bet, and that was 21st yesterday. You can see he's won a few there. He's won like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 8. So that is over your 50%. But it doesn't make up for all the losses in a row here. He shouldn't be losing that many because the average odds is only, like, it's less than 2.0, so it's odds on. So he's had an absolute stinking run this month in May from here down over. So I'm just going to have to see how this one goes. Hopefully you can pull it round. I think it's probably too late to pull it round this month. You have to go on a mental win streak. But hopefully he will pull it round. I wanted a football one as well as a horse racing one, just to like diversify a bit. Now you can see here a lot of them are the gear, like the Man U, Newcastle, and all these ones here are like kind of European, so these leagues are due to end. A lot of them, maybe not like the Scandinavian games or the American stuff, but I don't know. We'll see how it one goes. I'll come out of this and go back. One of the other things about the football is, where's the average odds on here? 1.91's the average odds. You kind of get that. You kind of get the odds for the football ones because it doesn't matter how much money. There's only like a true or false outcome. It can either be under the corners or over the corners. It's the same as a home win or an away win, although you have got a draw in there, so that's 3 outcomes. Where you've only got 2 outcomes, the odds tend to not to fluctuate so much as like an outsider horse. So again, the good thing about this one is you nearly always get the advertised odds, which means the results are pretty accurate. So that was it. You'll always get this as well. You can unlock the system for 99 pence for 10 days and get tips for any of the tips as it does this when you try and come out of the screen. I'll just say not today. I'm not logged in here as well. I'm just showing you what you can actually do all this without even signing up. You don't need to be logged in at all. Just another note there for you. So go back to the tipsters then. So that was it. I was running those until the end of Feb when I got an email from Betting Gods. You get quite a few emails from Betting Gods saying, oh, this tipster's just won this much, this tipster's just won this much. Well, yeah, they've won one tip, but it doesn't say they're doing well overall. But the email came out about this guy here, Just Winners, and that sums up me jumping on it. Not this month, though. I'll show you when I did. The end of February or mid-February, I got the tip, the email, sorry, and I did plan every 2 months jumping on and having a look to see if there was any better tipsters and reanalyze the ones I've selected, keep an eye on the ones I've selected and look at all the others to see if they're doing any better and things like that. Now, I used to use Bookie's Enemy last year and he's 138 quid down this month on £10 stakes, whereas the Just Winners is £282.50 down this month. But again, in my defence, I'm going to go into his profile. So to coincide with the end of Feb, when I was going to look at these, I got this email from Betting Gods, and it was slightly different to the norm, where it wasn't just bragging about like one tip. It was bragging about this guy who's been doing really well since he started, because he only started on the platform in October 23. And in fact, I did look at him and was thinking about using him back at the start of the year, but the thing that put me off was the fact that he only had a couple of months. So if I go down to this here, so when I looked at it in December, there was only October and November data available, and they were really good. So I was seriously thinking about jumping on, and he was doing really well at the time at the end of December as well. And I didn't, but I kept it. I didn't even keep an eye on it, but obviously January and February only got 4 points and 3 points, but still profit. But then when I got the message in sort of February, and I looked at them all again in February, I obviously had 5 months worth of data there, then all green. So I thought, right, I'll jump on this. It looks mint. And I did. And I jumped on like from the 1st of March. I only make changes on the 1st of the month on these things, just so I can keep a track of stuff. But the 1st of March, I jumped on, an absolutely amazing month. I didn't get 46 points, by the way. This is one of the ones that, like, they'll advertise the odds, and you won't always get those odds. His average, you can see here, his average odds are 10.13. So some of the higher horses, you do get a lot of them, but don't get us wrong. There's some you can't get. They'll advertise saying this is a tip for today, and it's like 20 to 1. You'll go on, you'll only like get 18 or 17 or 16 to 1. That kind of thing happens all the time. You can see here he's got 7 out of 8 profitable months, and the 1 month that isn't profitable is this month. You can see his overall win rate 16. That was way over 20. In fact, I think it was high as 30, like at the turn of the year when I did look at them initially, when I didn't start betting on them. But now his win rate this month is only 8.4, which is like nearly half of his like overall. It's absolutely mental. And he's 28 points down, which is 282 quid on me £10 stakes. You can see the graph here as well where it drops. I mean, don't get us wrong, you're still like more profitable than you were in February because of March's 46 points. But if this goes up much more, it's going to like wipe out March's profit. Which is one thing you got to bear in mind. You've got your ups and downs. It's like the stock market. You're going to have that. I'll just go into his tips as well, and we'll go down to the bottom and have a look at. So you can see here, this is a good transparent thing about betting gods, and what I really like about it. You can get hold of all the tips, and you can see there. Lost 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 consecutive losses, and that was a winner, but it was only like odds of 3 to 1 there. And going up again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20 losses in a row since the 10th of May. Wow. But like I say, putting on high value bets, so you're going to have a lot of variance, although there's a few lower ones, 5, 4.5, 6.5, but they're 26, which is 25 to 1. So that's the kind of thing I'm saying. You'll go on and try and put that bet on. You might have to flick around bookies and that to try and get the best. Sometimes I end up just putting on the exchange. That's what some people complain about. But you can see there, I mean, if that one hadn't won, that's like 10 to 1 shot. If that one hadn't won, then God, the figures would have been worse. And he's got a 5 to 1 shot there. One, but you can see all the losses again up here. There's the start of the month there. He actually started really well. He had 2 out of 3 winners on the first day. But he's had a lot of seconds and a lot of thirds. I don't know if he's just been unfortunate, but it's now to do with me following, because I had a really good March, and well, not so much April, but really good March. But unless it's just my luck kicking in. Anyhow, that's just winners, and that's the third one I'm following. So I'm following 3 at the minute. So I am looking at going to BSP 6 months, and then I'm going to have a look at the end of May and have another glance around all of these tipsters to see if there's any I should be changing. I'm really looking to change willy-nilly because it's just, you're just chasing your tail if you're doing that, I believe. You need to stick somebody, you need to stick with them for the long run. When I say long run, I'm talking 6 to 12 months, I think. But this here doesn't meet good performance for my corner king. Might have to rename him corner queen soon, and then maybe something even worse. He doesn't pull his finger out. But yeah, I mean, 6 months, if you'd been doing him for 6 months, you're £3.80 down. Which is probably near enough what I am, because I'm getting up to I'm coming up at the end of 5 months. 3 months, 139 down, which is even worse. But again, if you don't read it too much in that, because you need to look at this, it's only the current month that's dragging it right down. So you can see January, February, March is 15, 21, 33 minus your 26, so it's just slightly profitable. You're not profitable over 6 months because of December's minus 8.4, so I am slightly profitable. But anyway, that's betting gods. Again, link in the description if you want to give it a shot. And like I say, main one I'm currently recommending, even though I'm running 3, is BSP profits. You don't need to worry. It's great for beginners as well. You don't need to worry about getting onto bookies. You can just get straight onto Betfair Exchange on your mobile, on your computer, and just place the bets as you get them through. Like I say, there isn't an app or get email notifications or an app notification. If you're out and about on your phone, you can just go in the app and pick up your tips for the day and get straight on and put the bets on. Okay, if it's been of interest, like, subscribe if I get the next videos, and it would be much appreciated if you could use the link. And in the meantime, Gan Canny.